Hello, my name is Starlight. Welcome to my YouTube channel, and I'm reaching out to all of you beautiful souls out there. I hope you're able to get out in nature like Starlight is. And this is my first time at this particular park. It's a little hiking trail, and across the street is another park. So this is really cool, where I had to park on that side because there's no parking spaces here. But anyway, I really hope you're able to get out in nature, and guess it is a breezy day. I am not complaining because that means tonight is going to be a nice cooler night for Starlight. So living in my car, and nights like last night was beautiful for me. So anyway, if you are new to my YouTube channel, welcome, and you can find me on YouTube, and that is at Starlight, and that is Kathy with a K Dingman. And I hope all of you are taking really good care of yourself and your loved ones. Make sure you're not neglecting your kids. Most importantly, yourself first. You got to make sure you're not neglecting yourself or your kids or your husband, wife. The ones that are really truly there for you are the ones that you really, after you take care of yourself, to make sure you're there for them. So also, make sure you're eating good and getting plenty of rest. Protect your skin like I have to out here. And anyway, if you are new to my YouTube channel, welcome. And if you want to be that change in the world, it's so much better than people that just want to see. They just like, hey, I don't want to do anything. I just want to see the world a better place. No, we need to be so we can see the change that we want to see in this world. So anyway, I want to reach out to all of you and say hello, and just I pray that you are working on yourself, and it's in every minute of the day, second of the minutes, and every day of the week, 724 job. It really is. It's a all time. So anyway, you can give this video a thumbs up. That is if you want to be that change that you want to see in the world. And you could subscribe to my YouTube channel. Plus, don't forget to push the notification bell. And you can leave a message down below. Beep, beep, beep. Plus, you can share my videos with anyone, and not only you can share my videos, is also don't forget to check out the playlist. There's a lot of different titles and topics that I cover, so check that out. Plus, you can follow me on Instagram at 1995 Starlight, or on Facebook, and that is Kathy with a K Dingman Starlight. So don't mind me, I'm kind of checking out my earrings. One day I had two different types of earrings. One was just like this, a red one, and one was a blue one. And then later on I realized it, and so I switched them. And it was too funny, I didn't even know it all day long. There was two different types of blue earrings. So today I believe I got the right two earrings that I wanted to wear for the blue that I'm wearing. So here we are. This is really cool looking. They have the I believe these are like railroad beams out here, or like I don't know what they call them, but I believe this is what they came from, is from the railroads. So they used it to form their hiking trail out here. And I only was out here for more than a half hour doing a meditation. I'm kind of behind today, but that is okay, because that means I didn't do things in the same order today. So here we go. And anyway, this is really for anyone. It could be for people that don't have kids, because maybe you might not have kids right now, but you might have kids later on in your life. And this is also for parents that have kids now. Maybe they're really little, maybe they're babies, maybe they're toddlers. Maybe they're like my grandson at 4.5. I mean, he's been 4.5 forever, right? So people that have kids, and also can't leave out grandpa and grandmas out there. This is also for you. So I do meet a lot of people, and Starlight misses both of her grandsons. This has been very hard for me to be away from my grandkids, to be be with them, at least physically, to be able to spend time with them, because I am doing a mission for God, and this is the whole purpose of my YouTube channel, is for the kids and their generations and stuff, their families and stuff like that, and not just for my grandkids, but for everybody else's kids and grandkids. So anyway, I haven't made a video a while on talking about parenting and stuff like that. And of course, before I made this video, I was kind of like, what video should I make? And this is really what I am sticking to today, because I thought about it throughout the day, is this topic about parenting and stuff. So even though Mother's Day is this weekend, but before I go any further, happy Mother's Day to all of you beautiful mothers out there. So anyway, I've never been on this trail, so I'm just gonna see what we have. This is at the end of the street here, so we don't want to go that way. So anyway, this video is for, like I said, moms and dads, or also like people that don't have kids, and it's for grandparents. So this video is so important, things that people might have wished they had when they were younger, when they had their kids. But so this video will especially help out parents and people that don't have kids, and grandparents. I'm just waiting a little bit because I got somebody crossing over. Beep. And don't mind me, it's one of those days. I didn't want to have my hat on. I'm like, I'm going to just have a funny hair day here. So anyway, here we go. This is so important, and I just got done talking to somebody a little bit similar topic, is things that you really want to do is when you're starting your kids out from the very beginning, and this is what has happened to a lot of families is, like they, depending on how their situation is as far as, the mom and dad, do you both go to work? And, which, I can't really say a whole lot, because when I was younger, I had to I had to go to work. I was a single mom, and even though I had two kids, a boy and a girl, and their fathers were not around at all, so I had to go out and work. But I would rather been a stay-at-home mom, and have the dad go out and work, so then the rent would be paid and all that. But I didn't have that, and it was probably for the best, really, the way things were. So so I did bring up my kids all on my own with God's help. And so I couldn't do all the things that I'm going to put in this video, but I did do some of the things in this, what I'm going to talk about. It just that it's not going to be the same, and all of us have different situations as far as, your kids are, the living conditions, because these days you got more divided families. I came from a divided family, and they have another name for it, and like I said, this could be good for anyone, really, if you plan on having kids or even grandparents, because like I was saying earlier, is I meet lots of people at parks or hiking trails, and it's hard for me at times because both my grandsons are really far away, but I see a lot of grandparents with their grandkids, whether they have boys, girls, or both, and sometimes I hear things out in public, and it hurts my heart to hear it, where I would love to spend a lot of quality time with my grandparents, but I mean, not my grandparents, I'm the grandparent, but my grandkids. But right now I'm on a mission for God that will help my grandkids out for their future. So this is really important, and not that I don't talk to my grandsons, because I do on the phone or like a video chat or something like that. So, but so I meet a lot of grandparents that are babysitting their grandkids. Oh, this is so beautiful. I hope I get this. Turtles, they hear you talking and then but look at that. That's such a beautiful picture of the two turtles there. See, now this is why it's so important to get out in nature so you can experience these kind of things right here. Sorry, Starlight actually had to exit out because this was a great time to take pictures as I was here. See, that one just went in, and that's why I wanted to kind of stop my video real quick so I can enjoy taking pictures as I'm here at this little pond, I guess. So anyway, as I was saying, for parents is that they get to spend, some of you might spend, like maybe the weekends or maybe special times, maybe when your kids need to take a break, or maybe they need, to go on vacation. Maybe you get to, take your grandkids out on days like that, is to, take them for a week. Or some of you might actually watch your kids like a full-time job, to that way your kids can go to work. And that is great. Hello, you beautiful dog. You're welcome. So beep. So no matter the situation with grandparents, like Starlight, like mine are so far away right now, is if you got that time to spend with your grandkids, and they're at different ages, of course, there's so much that you can do to help your kids out, and maybe things that you didn't do when you had your kids, and is there a perfect parent out there? Absolutely not. So there's no perfect parent out there. These are really beautiful trails. I'm looking around as I'm speaking to you. Like I said, this is my first time out here, but with your grandkids, there's so much that you can do to help them out and teach them different things. Like I said, maybe you didn't think about it, when you were younger with your kids, and now you have all the time. You might not have to go to work. Maybe you're retired, and you're able to spend time with your grandkids. So this is a great time to really put as much as you can to help them out on things maybe that you missed out on your kids when they were growing up, because that does happen. They say the first one's the hardest one because you don't know nothing about what to do, and we do know some stuff depending on your background as far as kids. Maybe you babysat a lot like I did when I was younger, but having your own kids is so much different than babysitting somebody's kids, because that's what Starlight, she started out babysitting my sister and other neighborhood kids, other relatives, and I got paid, like at least not for my sister, but I got paid babysitting for other families. So, of course, I don't know where that money went. So as far as grandparents go, this is a great time for you to help the grandkids out, to teach them some things maybe you didn't remember, didn't think of. And what I'm talking about is a lot of, especially if it's a couple, mom and dad, that are out working and they drop the kids off at a babysitter at first, and because a lot of times when the mom spends that 9 months with a child, a lot of times that's what will happen, is maybe the mom will say, hey, and I these are things I wish would change, because my situation was so different and I couldn't do anything about it because I had to be with my kids. I didn't have the daddies with me, but I would have just been so happy just to be that full-time mommy and help raise up my kids that way and not even send them to public school. So, but these days, in those days when I was even growing up, a lot of times, and it just seems like this is like a cycle that goes on with parenting, is that the moms will have the baby, and then be with the baby for like a year, and then maybe her boss is waiting for her to go back to work. They give them that time to say, hey, it's the way this society has set things up as being parents and stuff. So where a lot of times the moms will go to work after she spent time with the baby for a year, and then she either goes back to her job, or she might go back, go get a job somewhere, maybe a different job. Sorry about this noise here. I can't help this at all. Somebody's cleaning something. So, and then the dad, of course, the daddy more than likely is working, but, it doesn't necessarily mean that the dad is working, because my son, I don't control my kids' lives, but my son is the stay-at-home dad. That is how they decided to do things. That is their right to do those things, and so sometimes, there are the stay-at-home dads out there, and, so that means the daddies have to be the ones, babysitting the kids, and because once the kids are, the mommy might want to get a break because she's been so glued to her baby for a whole year. She wants to get a break. And I can't tell you what to do at all. I can make videos, and so my opinion or my beliefs could line up with you, or we might have totally different opinions or thoughts on this topic, and that is okay. But these days that a lot of times people will have babies and they can't wait to get away from them, and that's not the way Starlight was. I just told somebody the other day, I said, Maya, I'm in my 50s, and she had her granddaughter with her, and I was letting her know, hey, enjoy all the time you can get with them, because in my situation, my grandson, the little one, and the big one, they're really far away. I'm probably about the same distance away from me. So, that you just never know what's going to happen with your kids if they're going to move away, just like my son did. So, and the lady, I was so surprised. She's like, oh my, I have this, I've babysat my granddaughter the whole time since was born, and she was probably, I think about 3 years old, and she thinks that it would be best that maybe she didn't see her granddaughter, and I just could not agree to that. I would have loved to have been able to spend all that time with my grandsons, so this is part of the video, is that a lot of people, they can't wait. They I don't know why they get married and have babies when they just want to hurry up and drop the kid off somewhere, the kids off somewhere. And that is the way society has been, I don't understand it. And like I said, I couldn't do anything different when I was bringing my kids up. But I would have loved to stayed home with the kids all the time and not have to go to work and just clean the house up and do the yard, but this is a different kind of generation, where and the thing that happens is, the parents will have the baby, and like I said, a lot of times the mom will stay home with the child for at least a year, and then she might go back to her job, or she might be like, oh, I just got to get out of here, I just, I need a break. And it's okay to want a break, where she might go try to, make some money. Like, I got to make some money, and because that's a lot of what happens is people want to go get the dollar bill and, just to have somebody else bring up their children, and that's my whole point on that. But that's not what I'm talking about today. Is my thing that I'm bringing up today is a lot of times, because when kids are being brought up, if you're not like a stay-at-home mom and you bring your kids up and then you go back to work and the daddy's working, and the dad might want to just stay to work and make the money to pay for the bills and all that stuff, and where a lot of people might say, hey, put them in daycare, And then later on, they put them into public school. And then they go to public school or even church school. And some of you might actually homeschool your kids. Hey, great. Awesome. I love it. That's where Starlight is. That's where, if you can make it happen, that's the best option that there is. And then, to bring your kids up in that way is to have them homeschooled. That's the safest, as long as the parents are safe to have these kids in the first place, as long as the parents are doing their job when they are homeschooling their kids. It does take a lot of responsibility on that part of homeschooling, but that's not my topic today. And because Starlight did homeschool her son, at least, and so as far as your children, what I want to talk to you about today, I know it's a lot to talk about, so this does take time to talk about all these different angles, is it's not about being a stay-at-home mom, and it's not about homeschooling your kids, but what it's about is the things that get missed, things that get forgotten, things that kind of go on the back burner that is so important to do when your kids are little. Is just, and a lot of you, I know what a lot of you might be thinking is that Starlight, that's a lot of work, and this is the big, huge problem in the society these days, is that a lot of people want to make the money and make the, it's a lot here. This is a lot for the topic, is sometimes people are so caught up in wanting to go get a job so they can have material items, and then people say, Starlight, I have a lot of bills. Well, you got to break all this down and understand what is the most important bills, because if you're going out and getting more material stuff, then it's going to cost more money. And yes, it's going to force you to go out and work extra hours, but then where's your child? Where's your kids? So it is a very hard topic for Starlight to talk about, because a lot of people get offended right off the bat. And I'm not saying that you're a bad parent, or I'm not saying that you're a good parent. I'm just expressing that this is what happens to the kids, is that, because people want to go out for the dollar bill because, hey, I want to look good, I want to feel good, I want to go out and buy a new dress, I want to go out and buy sports stuff, I want to go out and buy this, and I want to go out and buy that, and I want to go here, and I want to go there. But how about the children? That is a big, major problem in the world, is how about the children? What is going on with the kids? Who is babysitting the kids when they're not in school? Are they safe? So the safety should be the most important thing when you bring up your kids. But also, what are they learning? When the babysitter, Starlight was such a good babysitter when she was younger. I did a lot. I actually didn't just babysit. I cleaned the house and babysat at the same time. But when I babysat, I actually had different babysitters when Starlight had to go to work. I couldn't, my daughter was too young to actually go to preschool. I had to go out and get money or we weren't going to make it. And so I was forced, it was a nightmare for Starlight. It's not that I didn't want to go to work. I had a huge issue about anybody watching my kid. I didn't trust anybody to watch my kids, so it was a nightmare for me. I cried a lot because I had a daughter first and then my son after, and it doesn't even matter what order that is. But I've had a babysitter that I trusted. Not that the thing is that what kind of babysitters are you getting? Where this particular, my daughter told me what was going on. My daughter said, Mom, the whole time, when she was getting babysat by this lady, and I knew my daughter wasn't making up lies because I witnessed it myself. So it wasn't that my daughter was bored out of her mind when she went to the babysitter's house. Was she learning anything? Absolutely not. Well, maybe. Actually, she was learning about soap operas because the lady that was babysitting, I knew the lady as somebody actually I knew, And I do have to say that, my daughter definitely, she made sure that my kid was going to behave. Not that that was an issue. I knew that my daughter was safe. Nobody was going to do anything wrong with my daughter. But, the whole time my daughter just, sat in front of the soap operas, just sat in front of the TV the whole entire time. So this is a huge problem for the kids. My daughter didn't want to go to the babysitter's house, so you got to figure out what is being taught and what is not being taught with your kids. And, so some parents, they might actually have babies, get married, maybe, then have babies. Sometimes it's in different orders. And I'm not here to judge because Starlight never has been married, so I ain't got nothing to say. Hey, my kids were the greatest gift God ever could give me. I'll say that all the way to the day God takes me out of here. They were the greatest gift God ever gave me, besides me getting saved. And so what I'm saying is, with kids, if you have a babysitter, say you don't have a babysitter, say if it's a husband and wife, and the father says, hey, I don't want you to go to work, you don't have to go to work, I really want you to, bring up take care of the kid, I'll go to work, you don't have to worry about the bills, and I'm going to go and I'm going to make sure we have money for the food, I'm going to make sure, the car payments are paid for, the electric, the phone bill is going to be taken care of, the kids are going to have clothing on their body, I'll go out and I'll be the man and I'll be the provider, I'll be the protector, and you, honey, you could, I don't want you to go out in the world because there's men that are going to lust after you or whatever, and I want you to be safe, and I really want you to, to stay home, with the kids and bring them up in a good, godly way, so if it's in a way like that, is, my whole thing on that is what is being taught at home. And you got to really start your kids out at a really young age, is, is your kids learning how to clean, how to pick things up in their bedrooms, because Starlight's seen a lot of stuff. It was a big eye-opener, it really was. When I had my cleaning business, we're going to go around in circles, so I'm glad this park wasn't too big because I'm not going to get lost. But Starlight had her own cleaning business in New York for years, so I have been into many families' houses in all different kind of backgrounds. I worked in houses where they had lots of money. They could afford a big, huge house. They had lots of cars. They had, a few kids, lots of bedrooms, different, like I said, different backgrounds. I've worked for people that, a lady was a dentist, So I have been in and out of many people's homes. And you'd be amazed. A lot of times we think by looking on the outward appearance of somebody, like you see somebody out in public and you see these well-dressed, behaved kids out in public, and you think, wow, they got their shit together. Guess what? No, they don't. Not always. We're so deceived on how people look when they're out in public, and this is what trips a lot of mothers up, is that they think, wow, they make it look so easy, and then when they really have their own kids, and then they're really doing the work, and they're like, wow, how in the world, like my kids, they don't know how the heck did Ma do this. She didn't even have a dad to help her out. They know that. They know that their dads were not there helping me out. And I went to work and I had to come back and clean the house up, do this and that, go, the next day, drop my kids off at the sitter, I was being the mommy and the daddy all in one bite, And they were amazed where they struggled. And they had the husband or the wife there helping them out and doing all the, and bringing the income home, and they couldn't understand how in the world did she do it, So I am a super mom. That's all I could say. I am a super mom. I wear that proudly on my chest. I am a super mom. I love being a mom. That is the greatest job you can ever get, is to be a mom or to be a dad. And all the other jobs, they're okay. But being a mom and being a dad are the greatest jobs out, and it should be the greatest jobs in the world. And you're like, but Starlight, we're not getting paid. But you know what? You're missing the whole picture on that one. So it's so important, whoever is bringing the kids up, is that there's so many things that are missing. Before you know it, after your kids are being babysat, or we'll just say babysat, and then they, at the age of 4 or 5, or depending on your age and where the school is, then the kids most of the time go into public school, and they're not teaching these kids this. So it's really the parents' place no matter what, so we can't point fingers at the school system, because it's not the school system's job to raise our kids up, but the way society teaches us, it's the society teaches us this is what we just do. We have kids, we go to work, and we drop our kids off at the school. But it's not the school's job, it's not the government's job, it's not the church's job to bring up our kids. It's our jobs, it's the parents' jobs to bring up our kids. And what happens though, what is missing, which I've seen it many times over and over again, is I met a lot of beautiful families on my cleaning business, but what I was learning, and it is a lot of work, isn't it, is to being a parent, being a mom, being a dad. It's a lot of work. It's a lot of work, you gotta, get them, wake them up in the morning, gotta get their clothes, gotta get them to clean up, whether they cleaned up the night before, whether they clean up in the morning, and if you gotta go to school, like at a public school, or even if you're homeschooled, you gotta get their breakfast, gotta get their lunch. It's a lot of work to be a parent, so, but there's things that are missing about them, not all parents teach us is about, teaching them how to keep their room clean, how to do chores around the house, how to do yard work. So you really want to start your kids off at a young age to teach them how to clean their room. I was teaching my daughter how to fold washcloths at a very young age, like 2 or 3 years old, how to fold clothes. And she loved it. Those kids, when they're little, they love to learn and they love to help out. Those are the greatest times that you really need to, to teach them how to fold a washcloth. That's an easy thing for them to learn, and then later on, they're folding towels, folding underwear, learning how to fold socks or whatever. But they need to learn how to do those, and you got to start them off when they're little. A lot of parents didn't do that. They did everything for their kids, because I witnessed this in all the houses that I went to. Not all of them, but most of them. 95% of the homes, the parents were doing it. That's why I was the cleaner coming in, and I didn't just clean the parents' house. I didn't just come and clean the parents' bedroom. Starlight was cleaning the kids' bedroom, but the parents are the ones that were picking everything up for me to come in to the house and clean. So that is the part that's missing, because now we're teaching kids it's not about cleaning up and doing yard work and all that stuff. It's just they're missing out on these things. How about how to cook and how to prepare their food? It's something. Is that in my situation right now, I just seen it today, and they because parents are not always doing this when their kids are little, is they have, because the homeless people that there's homeless people out here, and there's teenagers out here that they have to live out on the streets or live in a shelter, and they don't even know how to cook. I've gone to work at Burger King when I started off with, when my daughter was little, and it's really go to work somewhere and the kids don't know how to sweep the floor, and this is a huge in the world is, you got to teach and educate your kids how to sweep a floor, how to mop a floor, and you shouldn't have how old, 16-year-olds or 17-year-olds, 18-year-olds, going into a company and they get hired for the job because they want to help them out, so they have a job to start off with. And so the manager or the supervisor will tell the young adult, like, okay, like, here's the broom, here's the cleaning supplies, and they'll explain, they'll like, okay, what I want you to do is sweep the dining room in the restaurant, when nobody's around, is to sweep the dining room out, or even to clean the bathroom. And the teenager will just stop and look at the manager or the supervisor, and their jaw drops because they don't even know how. They never did it. Is that the school's job to teach these kids how to sweep a floor, or how to clean a mirror, how to mop a floor, how to clean a toilet? Do they know how? Oh, nobody wants to, Starlight had her own cleaning business. I know how that is. Just go out in public, use their bathrooms. You'll see. So it is so important that they learn, like I said about cleaning. Does your kids, are they learning how to clean their room? How to, they made the mess, right? You're putting more work on yourself by doing it all for them. And you're like, no, Starlight, you're wrong. Because when I do it, I can get it done right, and I can get it done quick. But, what you're missing out on is if you teach your children at a young age, eventually, later on, when they get older, you're going to reap the rewards. Because later on, if you train them up when they're little about how to clean the room, how to clean the bathroom, how to take the garbage out, how to rake the grass, how to rake the leaves or whatever on the grass, how to shovel the snow, later on, all you got to do is say, hey, your chore is to, you always can switch it around, and it should be switched around. Don't just have them, like, you can do whatever you want. You're going to do whatever you want. But, if you got more than one kid in the house, they're going to complain, let them complain. They'll get over it. Eventually they'll get over it. If you get the girls to do the garbage, because then she's got to learn, how is she going to take out the garbage in her apartment if she's not being taught at home, like, oh, it's a boy's job? No, it's not. Starlight's been living on her own forever. And the cleaning, oh yeah, put the boys, give your sons, tell them to clean the tub out. Tell them to teach them, though. You got to teach them how to do it. You can't just say, here's the, because there's things that could go badly wrong in the bathroom if you don't show them. So you have to show them first, do it, show them how to do it first, and then supervise them. Like if you're going to hire them for your cleaning company, and say, okay, now I'm going to clean it myself, and then I'm going to teach you the do's and don'ts of what to do. Like, you don't want them to spray cleaning supply in their face, so those are things that you need to explain to your kids. And I know it sounds ridiculous that I got to explain this video, but this is a big, huge problem. We wonder when we go out in public, it's not the kids' faults when they're adults and they go in the bathroom in a public place and they don't even know how to pick things up and be clean. It's because they were not being taught that when they were kids. So it's the parents' job to make sure that they're being brought up in a way that they know how to, when they get on their own, they know how to clean up the house. They know how to do the laundry. They need to learn how to do the laundry. Have them gather the laundry. Teach them how much soap to put into the washer. Teach them how to, get to, at the right age, of course, when they're responsible enough to handle chemicals and stuff like that. They need to learn how to do the laundry. There's a lot of people that, as an adult, they don't even know how to do laundry, how to cook an egg, how to boil water, and that's why it's so important as parents to start them off little, like at the right age, like with the little kids, like my grandson, he can learn right now, and I don't know what they're doing. I don't know if he's learning how to do this. He can learn how to make his own peanut butter sandwich. Yeah, I know, he's going to get peanut butter. You know what? He's going to get peanut butter and jelly all over the table, all over the floor. He's going to make yes, but that's okay. because you know what? The more you work at them now when they're little, it's going to be less work for you later on. See what I'm saying? A lot of people, they don't want to do that work because they're like, my, that's a lot of work. You know, I tried it one day and they knocked the milk all over I got so mad. I wanted to kill him. No, did I hear that? Did I hear that? You wanted to do what to your kid? Don't do that. Do not kill your kid because of spilt milk. You know, say, hey, accidents happen. That's okay. Keep your cool, because there's some parents out there that's what they might just explode. But that's a part that the parents that's a part that they need to learn, is to, you know, kids are going to make accidents, kill things on the floor. Kids are going to do all kinds of crazy stuff in the house. But you know what? It's a part of life, and that it's okay that they spill the milk on the floor. It's okay that jelly got all over the couch. It's okay, as long as you're educating them and teaching them how to do these things on their own. They will be better adults when they get older, and they'll be more responsible to be able to do these things when they have their own place. So your job as a parent is to get them ready for the real world later on. And this is only a portion of what I can put. I mean, this video has already got 30 minutes on this video, and Starlight really try to stay to the topic, you know, trying to build up to really what I want to talk to you about. Is that I know a lot of you are like, oh my, it's so much work. Oh my, it's so much work. Oh my, it's going to take a long time. Well, stop watching TV. Stop doing those things that really aren't helping you in the first place, and take that time that is being wasted on other things that really don't have any value to, and make that time to spend with your children and help them, teach them. Say, you know what, I'm gonna, on a weekend, when you got the time off, on the weekend is a great time when you're not busy working, going to work, making the money. On the weekend is a great time to say, hey, this morning, your kids would be so blown away if they're like 12 years old and you never did this before, and you're like, hey, you know what? I'm not making your breakfast anymore. I've been making your breakfast since, I've been making your breakfast when you were feeding on my nipple, and now, you know what? You're 12 years old. You need to learn how to cook. You need to learn how to do all these things on your own. So this weekend, this is what we're going to do. We're going to together and we're going to learn how to cook. Yeah, what a nightmare, right? But it's so important for your kids to learn that at a young age when they're growing up, instead of waiting when they're they're already running out of the house and leaving and going somewhere. So it's so important to take that extra time in your life and your daytime to set aside and say, you know what, my kid's future is so important. This is what we need in the world to make a world a better place, is that we put more time on our children and raise them up in a way when they get older, when they are on their own, they know how to cook breakfast for themselves. They know they don't have to go to a restaurant and waste a lot of money out at a restaurant somewhere, buying fast food all the time. They need to learn these things at a young age, how to do this, and it will make their life easier and better for them later on. I know you love your kids. It's not that you don't love your kids. It's maybe how you were brought up and how society has got us to be. But we the parents, actually can change this all around. So anyway, beep. Whew. I love you so much, and this is part of really getting to the point of what we need to do as far as families go, and being that change that we want to see in the world. Like I said, these videos are not about Starlight, even though I do talk a lot about myself in these videos, my own life experience and those experiences. It's not about reading anything in a book. It's about real, true life experiences. That is really what works and helps, and what by living it. I had to look down. I never know what I'm stepping on. But, I'm not here to pick on anyone. It's just because it's the way our family has been in the past, and we just keep on passing this down, and the same cycle keeps on going through the family, and through the kids. When I go in a public bathroom, there's no reason why there's toilet paper all over, or go out in public, and there's garbage all over the grounds, and people making a mess. It's a lot with, not always, but there's things going on in their life, is that we have to step up when it comes to our kids. you know, and it is a lot of, it is a lot of work. Nobody wants to look at all that work. Oh, you know, they're going to get upset with me. They're going to, you know what? There's ways to discipline them, and I will have to have another video on that. Is, you know, they got things that they desire and stuff. You got to use that as a tool. Not that you got to beat your kids. Absolutely not. You don't have to get your, you know, beat your kids to have them to obey you. Hey, you want computer later on? Guess what? You're in this house. You got responsibilities to do. First, you want to be sweet with them. Try to teach them. But if they give you a hard time about cleaning their room, taking the garbage out, or learning how to cook, well then, hey, you know, you got rules in the house that they got to go by, and you got to, you know, be strong as a parent, and you can't be too soft all the time on your kids, because that's not the real world. You got to prepare them for the real world when they get out of the house. Is everybody going to be sweet and kind to them? Absolutely not. And that's why there's times that we do need to be firm with our kids, and we need to say, you know what, you know, hey, you want to play video game later? You got to get your homework done. You want this? Well, you got to do this, you know, and that's what they need to learn, and you got to stick to it. You can't back down, and when you back down, that's when they get, you know, that's when they catch you. So you got to be strong as a parent, and when you say something, you got to stick with it. You cannot say, oh, you know, because they're gonna play games with you. They're gonna play mind games. They're gonna play this feel sorry for me game, you know. So you can't let those kids win on these games that they play to get out of things, you know, because they're only gonna hurt themselves by not learning how to do these things when they're young. So anyway, I do love you. I could have gone on for hours on this topic. Believe me, this is a huge problem in the world today, is because parents, not all parents, I would have to say a good 95% of the parents are not doing this. You know, not teaching them all these different things that they miss. They don't think about it until they're older. And by the time they get 16, you know, they're going to give you the finger like, yeah, right. I didn't do that when I was growing up. Why do I want to do it now? So the earlier the better, you know, of teaching them how to do all those things. And you know what? They'll start liking it. You know, they'll start liking learning how to cook. They can impress their girlfriends or boyfriends later on when they get old enough. So, so anyway, I do love you a lot. This is Starlight. You can give this video a thumbs up. You can subscribe to my YouTube channel. You can leave a message down below. Beep, beep, beep. And, I gotta get my bell. Don't forget the notification bell. That way you do not miss any videos. And you can follow me on Instagram, and that is at 1995 Starlight, or on Facebook, and that is Kathy with a K, Dingman Starlight. I love you all. This is Starlight. This is Starlight. Love, light, and peace.